I'll ask my mom, like, hey, can you help me Amazon return these so we can get the good ones? We tried it for a week and we like it.
Yeah.
Or we hate it and we say, fuck them.
Welcome to Pod-A-Mania. My name is Eddie.
My name's Dylan.
This is a weekly wrestling podcast. Most of the time. What do we cover usually, Dylan?
You know, we cover SmackDown from last week, Dynamite to this week, anything in between.
Yeah. In this certain instance this week, we're doing a Dynamite to Dynamite week. We recorded last Tuesday.
We did record last Tuesday.
We're gonna cover a little bit of news that popped up last week, which is the women's tag team titles got announced.
So sick.
But before we get into that, be sure to follow the damn podcast at Pod-A-Mania Pod.
And if you haven't yet, why?
Follow us on Instagram, X the Everything app, TikTok especially, please.
Please.
Subscribe to the damn channel. Thank you so much for 350 subscribers. I know we didn't really make a big deal about any other ones, but thank you for being here. Thank you for growing this small little community of ours.
We appreciate you so much. And in the comment section, let us know, what is your favorite bit been so far? If you've watched multiple episodes or if this is your first, tell us your favorite bit from this episode. Brother, I can't lie to you. This mic arm makes me feel like Mr. Kennedy. I feel like I'm talking upward. Mr. Kennedy!
Reminds you to listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We are available to be in your ears at all times.
And in your heart.
Any moment of the day, any venue. Maybe we're your comfort podcast.
I feel like I could have hit that mister for longer. I hit it though.
Yeah.
I didn't voice crack. I held the note. How does he do that? Oh, by the way, Kennedy. You have to do the second one.
Yeah.
You have to do the second one.
He did. I mean, he did make his comeback to TNA recently.
I know. That's why I was down to make the joke. I'm happy.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna do it way later in the podcast so we don't mess up our algorithm. I want to talk about NXTNA.
Yes.
I'm very, very excited about that. I love the 35-year-old NXT champion.
The only good thing that WWE's been doing these last couple of weeks is the interesting NXT versus TNA invasion angle.
It's gonna be so dope.
Swapped to showdown.
Of course it gets swapped. But what I'm really excited for it because I think honestly some of the best WWE product right now is on NXT.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever TNA has left because all of their good superstars went to AEW. Will Ospreay, Speedball Mike Bailey, Bobby Lashley. But, I did want to talk about last week's Dynamite before we get into this week. We did get a lot of, I think we just start from the beginning there, where Hangman Adam Page addressed Kyle Fletcher pretty much after their interaction at All Out. And, there's a lot of praise for him. He wonders where Fletcher will go after their match together. But as a fighting AEW world champion, he's got to worry about tonight and his open challenge, which was later answered by Lee Moriarty.
So many open challenges in wrestling right now.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm going to put a podcast open challenge. If any podcaster wants to fight me, bare knuckle.
If any open challenge for the Pod-A-Mania show, come into the garage and do bodies with us.
Spar me in words and bodies.
Spar me in love and hatred. Show me the world. Show me the rain. Feel the rain on your skin.
No one else can feel it for you.
No one else can feel this pure world champion. Lee Moriarty says he'll bring his best to Hangman Adam Page later on in the night. But they opened up the show after that amazing promo from Hangman Adam Page to a World Tag Team Championship match between Brodito and the Gates of Agony.
Dude, I was so scared Brodito was going to lose.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you, that Toni Storm loss has has corrupted my brain. It's exactly what they want is like the anytime, any place someone
Well, that's
can
what
lose.
I'm saying. I mean, that's where my opinion goes of like literally any of their champions. And that's, I think that applies to the weight conversation we've had to AEW's belts is like the fact that they can swap at any event, any pay-per-view. It's not just like a PLE show or a specific storyline reason. It's nice. It's nice to have an unpredictable, like if I'm watching on a random Wednesday or a random Saturday, somebody could become a new champion.
And I know we hate WWE, but I think that's why I like Sami Zayn's open challenge. We can get to that later.
Yeah.
But I think that's the fun of these open challenges and having so many. I feel like both companies are doing a good job right now of having their titles fought for on weekly television. And I think that matters. Whether or not you know who's going to win or not,
Yeah.
I think seeing your champions fight on weekly television is so much more important than I realized.
Yeah.
Just because it's you got to have fighting champions. Right? Like if you're not going to have Cody and Seth in WWE, or if you're not going to have like Hangman's fighting every week. Kyle Fletcher fights every week. Like it's so nice to see these champions fight. Now you got Sami Zayn with his open challenge. Dom fights every week. It's really nice to see your belts fought for every single week, where there is the dichotomy where you kind of do need it to matter. Like I think that's what's fun about Cody and Seth is their matches matter so much more because they're so spaced out.
Yeah.
But I think the fun of a Hangman Adam Page is he's so good at wrestling that every match matters.
I'm under the impression, and I've always been under the impression that a fighting champion is going to be so much better than somebody who is just promo worthy. Obviously, there's something to be said about like the way tickets are sold and the way that like, okay, save Roman Reigns or save MJF for the pay-per-view. So they pay the big bucks to see the big match. But also Joe from Alabama does, he does deserve a banger every once in a while in Alabama. He should.
I agree completely. But also I think it's a really tough thing for me to say because of how new I am to AEW, but I think that WWE style of sometimes, and I'm not saying every time, sometimes the bigger match in WWE feels more grand because of how they space them out.
Yeah.
In comparison to where when Hangman fights on a pay-per-view, I've seen him fight for the title a couple times in the last month. Yeah. So, but I'm not saying that the Hangman match is any less important than a Cody Rhodes match, but it's the way they're presented and the way that they are there. Cody's there weekly, but he's not fighting weekly, whereas it feels like Hangman fights every week.
Yeah. I mean, Hangman's there. He's a fighting champion. He does fight for that company that he's been there since day one. I think there's a WWE storyline there where a lot of it is just like, I want to be the best, and it's easy for them to say that in words because WWE has been the company for a very long time, and so I think AEW needs to show how their world champion and that chase is just different, and any of their title pictures are just different. It's not just certain groups that lead these divisions. There are like these underdogs that like somehow get a victory. I think there's more opportunity for like, we didn't expect Gates of Agony to win on the pay-per-view, so what's there to say that they like don't win here? Exactly.
It's nice to not know.
Yeah.
But also, there is that comfort in knowing you're going to get a big match, big pay-per-view match out of your main name champion. I think wrestling needs both.
Yeah.
And it's about how you present both.
For sure. I mean, like this one for tonight's Kyle Fletcher versus Orange Cassidy, like that had a big fight feel to it compared to this tag team match.
Even though it's only for the TNT Championship, and man, that match, Orange Cassidy and Kyle Fletcher can do no wrong. We'll get to that when we get to this episode of Dynamite, but
it's a loose episode. It's fine. We
can jump around a little.
But something that you said last week is just like that superstardom of Kyle Fletcher. he only has room to grow. And to still see him with the TNT championship take on somebody who's been this former, like, long time open challenge champion, because that's what I'll get to next. After Bandito did end up retaining their tag team championships, and then after that match backstage, the conglomeration were fired up. Briscoe was fired up, talking about tagging alongside Hologram and Big Tom and, you know, Mrs. Friedman. Oh, Mrs. Friedman.
Oh, Mrs. Friedman.
Briscoe, she asked what Briscoe's mystery tag team partner was going to be, because the word of the day was mystery. There is a familiar pair of sunglasses placed onto Hologram's bridge of his nose,
which we know ends up being Orange Cassidy.
O'Reilly said, "Thank you, Jane. Where's my mind?" Which is so, I mean, it's just so funny.
It's awesome. They did a really good job with this Orange Cassidy return.
Yeah.
And I remember when we had our old show, and I had first found out who Orange Cassidy is. And I was so entranced by the character. You remember at the time, I loved him. I thought the idea is so funny. It's an anti-wrestler, you know?
Yeah.
And to have him back is really cool for me, as, like, I'm the new AEW head. I don't know how long I can claim that for anymore, but I'm the new AEW head still. Like, so seeing all these guys that I know, but on AEW TV for the first time, like this week I got to see Kenny Omega on TV for the first time. Yes, I've seen his big matches and stuff like that, don't get me wrong, but this is the first time since we started that he's been on TV. So it's things like that where, like, when you get an Orange Cassidy back, that's so sick. And we can kind of get into how Kyle Fletcher is so, like, his character is written so well too. Yeah. I don't want to fight that guy for my belt. So it takes him out, and then he ends up having to face Orange Cassidy this week, which, man, Orange Cassidy, to think Orange Cassidy has gotten to this point as a wrestler. Because you were just talking about guys that are promo work or character work only. That's what I thought he was going to be for his whole career. Like, that's what the character he plays is meant to be, in a sense. Like when you think of the origination of Orange Cassidy, right, is like a guy who's like, I'm not the best technical wrestler, I'm not the best promo work guy, really, but I have this character figured the hell out. Yeah. And now he's at a point where he has put on good matches. He can really wrestle in there.
I think that's the nice thing about where we came in to an AEW is, like, we came in at this time where a bunch of people like Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland end up going on the bench for a little while, having to get these major surgeries that they need. But we're also seeing the returns of these people that are also hit players in AEW, like an Eddie Kingston, like an Orange Cassidy, and we still have Hangman Adam Page and Kyle Fletcher and
Professor.
Yes.
Is that better? Is that better, Dad? Do you feel more comfortable?
Yeah.
Do you feel hot and sexy for me? But yeah, so I think they had Big Bill do all the talking because of Eddie Kingston's promo work. The ring rust was there. It was kind of noticeable with him missing his finisher. We did that whole thing last week. Yeah. I'm excited to see Eddie Kingston talk, because I saw a lot of comments that I unfortunately agreed with, where I don't get the hype yet. Because I haven't heard him talk, and I haven't really learned the character. I don't know who Eddie Kingston is. I've heard the lore. I've heard he had these great works with X, Y, and Z wrestler. But until I get to see it for myself, I don't get what the hype's about.
I think that's the benefit about having these wrestlers that do have these injury stints or have these extended periods of time on the bench. Allie Ketch is one person that's sticking out of my head right now. She broke her leg at GCW's Hammerstein show, and, you know, she missed out on the entirety of this year's indie wrestling. But I think now, because she was on that big show, broke her leg, there are so many people talking about her, watching her old stuff.
Why isn't Riho on more?
Well, she has a cryogenic chamber and she's just a girl.
oh, she doesn't like go to a different company or anything. She just doesn't wrestle. Like this is genuine.
I believe Riho does work for a different company. I believe it's Stardom.
You'll fix that in post.
Nope. That's their job. I look at them.
Yeah. You tell us where we went wrong.
You heard my tone of voice. You correct that in the comments.
Because that's a question. But yeah, I don't know. I saw her and what's her name? Bigger girl. Like not bigger girl as in like me being rude, but as in like that was the dynamic of the match. Is Riho very small, this girl very strong, and Riho hit a sick ass like German suplex.
Nyla Rose.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw that match on Twitter.
Yeah.
Saw the whole match, and I went, yeah. Why is Riho not the champion forever?
Yeah, well, she was the first women's world champion.
I know. I got to see that.
So it's just one of those things. My point being with like to go back to Eddie Kingston.
Yes.
I want to connect it back to Eddie Kingston real quick. Is I think these people that are coming back from injury are people that you don't see very often, like a Riho. There's almost like an allure to them, and it's so rude. They know that I'm talking.
Yeah, like the guy flying that plane should know I film a podcast here Wednesday nights. And he doesn't.
But I think that like is the great thing about wrestling, and the greatest thing of like the magazines or even these like podcasts, where you can see where these superstars go even when they're not wrestling, and that like the ability for kayfabe to track your favorite superstars, and like think of somebody like Karrion Kross, who people question if people still care about. Do people still want Kross?
Or did they only want him because he was in WWE and not getting used? Right? But I think this ties back to the original thing we were talking about at the top of the episode of like, do you want them there all the time, or do you want the allure of them being in and out or not fighting all the time? Like, would I love Riho as much if she was here every week? Yes. Duh. I know myself. You just know how I am.
Yeah.
You know the style of wrestler I love. I love the like smaller women wrestlers who are just unbelievable in the ring.
You love small, helpless women, yes.
It's not what I said.
Oh, you didn't say the helpless part. I just filled that blank in my head.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, you know what I mean? Like Mercedes Moné, Io Sky, Riho, like the smaller, like, hey, the come from behind, like the underdog story, smaller against the big bad champ is so sick. And when they're good at it, they're good at it.
Yeah.
And I think wrestling's in a good spot in that there's so much talent.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you get all this talent to peak and be at their top potential at the same time? It's impossible. Somebody
that does that very well, and somebody who had done that very well throughout his entire career was Bryan Danielson. Mm-hmm. Where like
he was on commentary tonight.
I mean, he was somebody who literally can call himself the best in the world because he's been around the world. He gave Kamala his like a good match in Ring of Honor, a really good match in Ring of Honor, and a lot of those are because of Bryan Danielson and him always having this like, okay, what I know I'm good. What needs to be tweaked? What needs, kind of like us, where it's like we know we run a good show, but we did need mic arms.
Yeah, we needed to stop making so much noise with the cords and the mics and the things.
Which I think is just, I mean...
How do you... I agree.
A little noise.
I agree, but also...
My Subway surfers that I put on in the background while I clean my room is a little bit of noise, and I don't like the noise.
True, but how often do we...
We ruined their whole commute to work because my finger rubbed the microphone wrong.
But how often are we the wah crying baby because our favorite wrestler isn't pushed to the moon?
Pretty often.
I'm looking at you.
It's the reason we have microphones.
I'm looking at you, Sami Zayn, world champion.
It's the reason we have microphones.
You're looking at me begging Kyle Fletcher to win that match.
Yeah.
Begging. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
On your hands and knees.
2026. I'm stamping it in. Kyle Fletcher, AEW champion 2026. It's gonna happen.
It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it plays.
I think it's gonna happen, man. He has all the potential in the world. He has everything going for him. The only thing that's stopping him is wrestling. Is the name another sport or entertainment field where being too young is the reason you're not pushed.
Are we getting into this?
How old's Kyle Fletcher?
How old's Kyle Fletcher? He's,
24.
Yeah. You keep talking while I look that up.
How old's Jevon Evans? 21.
21, 22.
22. How old's Roxanne Perez? 23.
Kyle Fletcher's 26.
26. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. If you're 26 or under in wrestling,
Yeah.
you're too young to hold the main title. You're too old to young a title. Like, you're too young to hold the title. Why is Roxanne Perez not have a title right now?
Yeah.
Why is Jevon Evans not held a North American championship by now? I don't care that he's 22, man. Wrestling is the only entertainment field and sport where if you're 22, you're too young. Not to be the sports guy, college football, these kids are 21, 22. These guys in the NBA are getting drafted at 18, 19. They're getting the reins to these whole organizations. Yet WWE is so scared to strap the rocket ship to Jevon Evans. The match he had with Sami Zayn, oh my goodness, selling like death, almost killing himself in some of his moves. He jumped so damn high. His springboard stunner, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how long are we gonna cage these guys? How long are we gonna put them in a box? Be like, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Jevon Evans has all the charisma in the world, and he doesn't have a North American championship right now. Listen, I love Ricky Saints. He's 35. He should not have a developmental championship.
That's, yeah. I agree.
It's different with Kyle Fletcher. He holds the tier 2 title for the men's. He got his push, but I feel like I could have bitched about this a year ago when he was 25, before he had it, right? Like, how Roxanne Perez, why is she not holding the women's tag titles? Like, because they're quote unquote kids in the wrestling business.
But they're not.
It's a 22, 23, and 26. These are grown adults who are great at their job and not getting benefits for it. I have a fear in my heart. Listen, I have been loving AEW, and we have built an AEW fan base. I'm a WWE guy. I always have been, always will be. I don't want to see Jevon Evans basically be pushed out of the company, which is what it seems like is happening to Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see this trajectory happen to these guys I love, because you are building something in the company you're in. I don't want to see Kyle Fletcher in WWE.
Yeah.
Because I love what he's building in AEW, just as I don't want to really see Jevon Evans in AEW. Yes, I want to dream book a Kyle Fletcher Jevon Evans match. I want to dream book some of these cool ass matches. Like, I can see it in your face. You're thinking of 5 Jevon Evans / Kyle Fletcher mix matches, right? But I don't need to see that. I need to see them build in the company they're in. But the companies themselves don't want to build these talents properly. At least on WWE side, AEW has gotten better about it since I started watching.
Yeah. I think there is definitely some talent that deserves more recognition. I don't know how old Speedball Mike Bailey is, but Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, The Swirl, Blake Christian, a lot of these
Jet
people.
Speed as a whole.
Wheeler Yuta. I quickly looked up the age of Lee Moriarty, who is in this next match with Adam Page. He ended up challenging for the world championship, and he's 31.
And that's like, it's so weird because wrestling age is so much different than sports age, right? Like, 31's kind of your prime.
Yeah.
Like, 22, you're too young. 40 is like, you're hitting that, like, hey, here's your, like, last run at the peak top. Yeah. Because that's about, like, when Roman Reigns stopped. Like, because Roman Reigns is 40 now, right? Like, he's getting pretty close. Yeah. And he's kind of settling himself down. That's when John Cena started to kind of settle himself down a little bit. So I feel like that 30 to 40 range, that 10-year range.
Roman's 40 right now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that 10-year range is really that 30. Your 30s are your prime in wrestling, I feel like. And, like, is there something to say that Ricky Saints having the NXT title at 35 is just like, brother, you got 5 to 6 years left.
It's super senior shit.
Yeah, it's super senior shit. And that's nothing on Ricky Saints. Like, he had to leave AEW. They weren't using him.
He had to leave AEW, but I think that...
Why did he go NXT?
because
Look at Stephanie Vaquer.
WWE can't immediately, in whatever sick, twisted world, if he got there because he's Cody's boy or not,
however he got there.
I think that there's a point there of like WWE, there's a visibility in WWE's eyes of like, oh, people know that he's Cody's boy. If we push him immediately to the main roster, there's nepotism there.
Oh yeah, as if there isn't fucking nepotism with the whole Samoan dynasty.
Well, there's blackmail there.
Yeah, I guess.
They have nudes of Paul Heyman.
God, I'd love to see that.
He steals shoes and then puts the Polaroids of the walrus in the shoes, and then he says,
"Oh, I have such a." My girlfriend put a Polaroid of our cat in my pants for work when she fixed them. It was so cute. I was at work. I was like, "Oh, Polaroid of my little cat." But
what about the next time you pull out your work pants? You go, Paul Heyman ass.
Dude, that'd be fire. No, but like to round it all out, like yeah, there's the nepotism there. Don't get me wrong, but I mean that. And also, side note, whoever bitched about Ricky Saints' finisher being a DDT, grow the fuck up. Yeah. I saw people on Twitter being like, that's how Femi lost his championship, as if 45 seconds earlier he didn't get DDT through a table.
Yeah.
Like, how about you watch the whole context of the match? Nah, it's too much. Context is too much for you stupid fucks on the internet.
Of course, dude.
I forgot. The YouTube comment section will clip that part of me saying context doesn't matter and be like, I watched the whole match and I still hate it. No, you fucking didn't. You don't watch NXT. Don't lie to me.
I was gonna say.
Don't lie to me.
I'm
on my hater shit.
I really only say that TNA and NXT, that like showdown invasion angle, has been the best thing because I've seen it exclusively through Twitter.
Yep.
If I had actually been watching it, I probably would think otherwise. But it's kind of cool from a distance.
From a distance, it's super sick seeing Trick Williams act like he had a choice, and Ricky Saints go, "Hold up, hold up, this is my team," and I love the NXT team. Jevon Evans, Trick Williams, Ricky Saints, and Miles Bourne. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. The TNA side has Mike Santana.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone else because I don't watch TNA, unfortunately. Isn't it weird that the NXT side has the TNA belt? I have a theory that Trick Williams is going to turn on NXT. It's the most like warm take, like everyone on Twitter saying it.
I have a theory that WWE is just going to buy TNA.
Well, duh.
Like eventually, like this is like sitting. I know that there's a lot of talk about cuck chairs in this podcast, but we
do talk about cuck chairs a lot.
I have a feeling
we need to talk about that off the pod. I have a feeling
Triple H or Shawn Michaels is like talking to the TNA CEO, and he's like, "Hey, babe,
he's Birdman.
I love what we've been doing with both of our rosters. We've been really like integrating them. I think they really have gotten to know each other really well. I don't think we need you anymore." And this is Shawn Michaels to the TNA CEO, and the TNA CEO goes, "What? But like the party, it's all of us. This love and connection we have." And it's like, no, babe, we're
this isn't a partnership anymore.
We're getting off just fine without you.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. I think we're getting close to that. But I also think, like, I just think storyline-wise, I think Trick is holding the TNA belt on the NXT side. I think he's going to turn and become the face of TNA. And you know what? Good for you. I know I've been on my little Femi's been listening to our podcast. Femi's been listening to Pod-A-Mania.
Trying to get his last match against Cena. Trying to get Cena's last match.
But like Femi needs to be pushed to the moon. Yeah. Jevon Evans needs to be pushed to the moon. Ricky Saints is going to get pushed eventually. Where does Trick Williams fit in that picture? If not what Jevon Evans said, you're just Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
When you can pave your own lane and go be the guy in TNA.
Or you can carve your own lane and be the younger talent hired by the Hurt Business. Or the Hurt Syndicate.
Imagine, you're only saying that because he's black.
No. Hey, I told you.
They need a new white boy.
I told you last week.
They need a new white boy.
If they teamed with the Swirl and they kept Blake Christian
they
as
need
their
a new
mascot,
white boy. They do need a new white boy.
you know, I think they need somebody to keep the morale up. They need somebody to bring the snacks around. I think they look into it like a Nick Wayne. He has his mom. I'm not like they need MVP's bald. He's not doing anything for the group except talking.
I got cooked for saying he was bald. I get it, bro. I have short hair. I get it. It's not my fault. He don't want to let it go. I like this episode because we're jumping around.
Yeah.
And I think we're covering a lot of the stuff we
want to get back on AEW.
But I do want to get back on. Well, no, we finished Dynamite.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, because we talked about. Or was that?
Dude, Edge left. Cope has left.
I thought Hangman Adam. I thought the Adam Page match was the last match of the night.
No.
Okay, that's my fault. Oh yeah, no, Cope's gone.
Yeah, Cope's gone.
Well, did you see what GOAT Chris Van Vliet's theory is? Well, last time Edge talked to Chris Van Vliet, he said that he had 1.5 years left on his contract. And the math lined up to September of his contract being done.
Yeah.
So Cope does have to film Percy Jackson.
Yeah. And he just got hired in the Beekeeper too.
And he got hired in the Beekeeper too.
I'm the Beekeeper.
I'm the Beekeeper. The bees. I like honey. I'm Winnie the Pooh now. But Cope's contract is in a weird spot. John Cena only has 5 events.
It's not gonna happen. You're just, dude.
Schmeep mop.
It's not gonna happen.
Schmeep mop.
It's because it's like
it would be cool. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it'd be cool.
Dude,
listen,
I loved that the internet gaslit you for 48 hours straight.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen, but also, do you think AEW's that petty to where if Cope wanted to do that, they wouldn't let him? Genuine.
Okay.
If Cope went to Tony Khan and said, "Hey, this is John Cena we're talking about. Yeah. Some of my best work as a wrestler and John Cena's best work as a wrestler were together. AEW doesn't exist without John Cena. This whole this wrestling shit isn't where it's at without John Cena. Let me have this with him." I don't think Tony Khan says no to him. Genuinely. Yeah. Do I think that's what's going to happen? No, not at all. But if that is the conversation that happened, do you think that AEW would be that against it? I don't think so. Because I think it's overall good for wrestling. And I think the difference between WWE and AEW is AEW cares about what's good for wrestling and WWE cares about cash. And both of these go together in this situation.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I think it's a 1% possibility.
It's a 95-5.
Yeah, exactly. It's only getting bigger the longer Cope is away from AEW TV. Like, that's how it feels. It's not true, but that's how it feels. Yeah. Now, who do I truly think his last match is going to be? They have 2 Raws to figure it out. Because his last events are Crown Jewel, 2 Raws, Survivor Series, and his last match in
Washington,
D.C.
Yeah.
So, I don't want him a part of the War Games match. That's a waste of fucking time. I told you this since January. You can go back on this podcast. I said there's 0 chance he does a War Games match. And at the time, you disagreed, and I think now you're on my side.
Yeah, I am on your side.
It's a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
We need to... Here's the thing. You're going to hate this sentence. The last 9 months doesn't fucking matter anymore. It's done. You fucked it up. Yeah. You have to take that on the chin, Triple H. You messed up really bad. But I'm not saying you can save it, but you can make these last 2 months, these last 5, the most memorable they can be. We're already getting AJ Styles. That's going to be a fucking classic. right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's going to be a classic. I think it's one of those things where is it worth it to try and salvage something in the last 5 weeks?
Yes.
I think yes, it is, because if we can get 1 or 2 good matches out of this and not forget that he wasted 3 of his appearances with Logan Paul.
You're never going to forget that. As wrestling fans, we're never going to forget the mistakes that were made. But like we've been saying, it's the toxic boyfriend. It's the toxic ex-boyfriend. If the last 5 things I remember from you are great,
yeah,
then I'm going to end this and say, you made a lot of mistakes in this last year, but you ended strong, and I'm fine with that. But that's what we're going to have to be. We are at the point as a community of wrestling fans that we just have to understand that they messed up bad, and it's 70% on Triple H, 20% on The Rock, or 30% on The Rock.
And then, I'd say give some of it to John.
No, that's not, no. All right,
John,
60, 30, 10.
Yeah, because John has a little bit of leeway to say
he could have put his foot down at some point. He never did.
This is my last run, guys. Yep. He
had the opportunity to put his foot down, and he never did. I can agree with that, but also we have to understand it's not all his fault. A little bit of it's on The Rock, a lot of it's on Triple H, and a little tiny bit of it's on John Cena, right? But if we get AJ Styles, if we get a decent, if we get a good AJ Styles match, I think I've seen, I think he has 3 matches left.
I think I saw a good theory where it was like he's able to face Dirty Dom, complete his Grand Slam,
yes,
and then give Sheamus his Grand Slam. So the IC goes basically. He's just a transitional.
You want John Cena to have his back on the mat, eyes to the lights,
not in his
Sheamus in his last match.
Not in his last match.
So you want John Cena to lose his last 2 matches?
I don't think he's losing his last match.
Yes, he is.
No.
John Cena respects the business too much to go out on top.
Depends who he's facing.
He's not Sting.
Depends who he's facing.
He's not Sting.
I don't think that was Sting's idea.
I don't think so either, but I'm saying he's not. John Cena, I think, has too much respect for wrestling to not have his back. He's even said in interviews, you end your career with your back on the mat. Batista said it. He's not one of these guys that's ego is so inflated through the roof that he thinks he's bigger than wrestling. He constantly says, wrestling lived before me, wrestling will live after me. I think he's going to do it the right way. It's about who it is.
Yeah.
My foot is still firmly, I want it to be Oba Femi. I want it to be a young talent. I want it to be Dom winning his IC title back. I want something cool. I don't want a 2-part Dom, don't get me wrong. I don't want him to face 2 people in his last 3 matches, right? I don't want to say the same person. Has his match against AJ Styles. AJ Styles said he's retiring soon.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, John Cena. And then we get Dom, John Cena. John beats Dom. And then last match, John Cena holds his last open challenge in Washington, D.C., and we hear Oba Femi theme song. We hear Jevon Evans theme song. Oh my God, imagine Jevon Evans beating John Cena for the IC title in his last match. Something like that. Let's give it to a young talent, and maybe not even a young talent, but an up-and-coming talent, or maybe someone on the main roster who just is there. And John Cena, let John Cena pick.
Dude, I mean, I'm gonna
world
make
is
you
their oyster.
And can I make you pre a little bit?
A little bit.
I really want you to consider. I mean, Ilja Dragunov has the chance to be his last match.
Dude, that would be sick.
If he becomes the Grand Slam champion off of Dom, and he decides to.
We haven't heard the Ilja theme song, John Cena, early in the night because it's a Saturday Night Main Event, right? So maybe no, he has an appearance the Monday before that, right?
I'm not sure.
I think he does. I think he has an appearance the Monday before that. Maybe the Monday before that he goes, Saturday main event, I'm holding an open challenge, my last match. Whoever wants to try to take me out in my last match, I'm leaving with this IC title. Like, but not in a heel way, but in a like, you got to beat me for it.
You didn't let me walk away with the one. This is
my consolation prize.
I was going to say, not only did he we had a spinner belt that we put S tier, but we had a spinner US championship as well.
Yes.
That wasn't it. I
don't want a spinner Intercontinental Championship. I'm okay.
I don't want a spinner Intercontinental Championship. I don't think he gets a new one with that short of a reign. But
That's what I'm saying, though.
There's just so much potential.
The
and
Monday before Saturday main event, it's open challenge, and then you just hear, boom, Ilja Dragunov, and everyone's like, oh my God.
I hope they do something with it, and I hope everybody's still here to still talk about AEW, because that is it. That's all of the WWE stuff that we're going to talk about, hopefully. MJF, talks about doubt and how they, folks like Ospreay and Swerve and Hangman, they can all fuck themselves because they were in his dust. But now he's in theirs. He's eating dust, He's when in doubt, he ate it up and spit it out.
I love the way that they did the tables and tack stuff. It was super cool.
Yeah.
The match type, I'm not a big deathmatch gore guy, but that was fun.
Deathmatch gore guy, especially
what
crazy.
I mean,
it's crazy you say that when they announced the first female blood and guts match.
I'm not saying I'm not excited for that, but I'm just not a big blood guy.
No,
you know that though. I've always been this way.
Yeah. They did end up announcing the women blood and guts match for sometime soon. I don't think it's going to be on pay-per-view. It's never on a pay-per-view. It's going to be on like a weekly television of some
Speaking
sort.
of the women, who do you think is going to be the first women's tag team champion?
Women's tag team championship. I believe there's going to be a tournament for eliminator tournament.
Who's your bet right now? If we were at the horse races and it was women.
Breathtaking, beautiful
and
women.
Breathtaking, beautiful
I can put my money
horse
on
women. I can put my money on like it's Uma Musa.
Money on my favorite horsewoman. Yeah.
What's your team? Who you got?
If I didn't have to, if I gotta pick a team that's already in AEW, I think I'm picking who's been teaming with Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron and her buddy right now. Has it been Chris Statlander or I don't know who it's been, but I probably those guys. I think there are potentials for like a Cora Jade to debut with like we have opportunity for like old WWE talent to show up in this tournament and like the gold of an AEW world title. AEW World Tag Team title, especially to be the first ones.
What if wasn't it Toni Storm and Shirakawa who were friends?
Mina Shirakawa, yeah.
What if Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm? Because we talked about why is Toni Storm losing her women's championship? Is it to potentially give these women's tag titles a boost?
Yeah.
That's an idea. That's my pick as of right now because we haven't seen the teams yet.
Yeah.
Once we see the teams, I think we'll do our officials. But finding out the teams, I'm gonna go with those two. I hope that they're in a team together for this.
Yeah. It does look like it would be Chris Statlander who would team with Harley Cameron. I don't think a double champ Straplander would happen.
A double Straplander,
Straplander to the moon all the way. Yeah. But I think maybe like even like a returning Ruby Soho in the or in the Outcasts would be fun. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens are back. They've defeated the Swirl.
Can you survive
5 with the best wrestlers alive?
No, I don't like it. No, it doesn't fit the same. No. But I do love me some Max Caster.
Love me some Anthony Bowens, and I'm so glad they're back. But they're not the Acclaimed.
No, they're not the Acclaimed.
They refuse to be the Acclaimed.
They refuse
to scissor each other a lot like you and me.
Bullshit.
But yeah, ends up defeating the emotional support white boy and his caretaker. Nick Wayne's coming for Christian Cage, even like hopefully with a hot plate of cookies made by his mother.
That'd be so fire.
TJ won the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. Tay Mello and Mello and Jay.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Anna J. I know what I'm talking about.
This guy don't know what he's talking about.
I have a whole show about it, man.
We have a whole show explaining that we know about this stuff, dude.
So
we suck.
No, people love us.
Nah, they love us.
They love us, especially when we're not making noise and ruining their commute to work.
I'm just so worried that we haven't been talking into the mics this whole time.
It's fine. Mello took a loss against Toni Storm. So she may have lost her world championship, but she's on her way to have a feud with Tay and Jay with her mystery tag team partner. What if Mariah May comes back? Oh my God. She revives her from the dead. Imagine Toni Storm partners with her acting partner. Toni Storm partners with herself.
Imagine Toni Storm dresses as Mariah May.
And
then Mariah May comes out.
And the biggest acting challenge that she's had to take on so far. Herself as a character. It's kind of like a Joaquin Phoenix or like Heath Ledger Joker experience where they really have to like...
Oh, it's method acting.
They have to method act.
100%.
Who is Toni Storm? Why is she crazy? What drives her absolutely batshit crazy about the woman Chris Statlander is?
This is what a woman. Dude, I can't get comfortable. Getting mad. I'm going to let you guys in. We're friends now, podcast family. I'm getting mad.
You're getting mad.
I cheaped out. And I'm mad.
I mean, I think we've been recording for an hour. We've given the poor suckers the episode.
No, we just got to an hour and we spent the first 10 minutes dicking around. So
yeah,
I do want to talk about this week's Dynamite episode.
Let's talk about this week's Dynamite episode.
Quick. We're not going to go too fast. We've been going in and out, so the stuff that we did talk about, we won't go over again. Really.
So this week, Brodito did team up with Kenny Omega in your first Kenny Omega television match against Josh Alexander.
Oh my God.
And the Young Bucks.
The Broke Bucks, because they pulled a me and they went to a casino and lost $500,000. So they opened the episode. Eddie was at church today, so I'm gonna guide him through this episode. They opened the Dynamite episode with a bag of money and the Young Bucks, and they're talking about how, we're gonna have all our pyro back, we're gonna have all our music, we're gonna have birds, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that, and he goes, I'm gonna go talk to Tony Khan, one of the brothers, and then the other brother's like, you know what? Let's go double this shit, and it's playing at the casino, running it up, loses all of it. So when they come out, the name says Broke Bucks and it says bank account $0. It was an awesome opening. And Brodito, I love you. Kenny Omega, I've seen so many of your other matches when you were in NJPW and a lot of your other indie stuff. So I knew what I was getting into. Great match. And then, it's the 6-year anniversary of AEW. Woo! 6 years. We're happy we're here. And then Kenny Omega gives a basic ass promo. And I mean, like one of the most basic promos you've ever seen. And at the end, he does a little bang and the lights go out. And on the commentary table, they're like, Excalibur is like, we're having a light malfunction. Lights come back on. It's a dude in a mask. And it's like, what? Yeah. And he takes the mask off and I go, is that fucking Andrade? And Andrade's back in AEW.
Yeah.
He's the first person to go from WWE to AEW, back to WWE, back to AEW.
Good for him. Good for him for getting a paycheck.
He's getting tossed around like some salad.
He's
so good. But
that man lives for PTO.
Dude, for real.
He loves his time off. He loves just utilizing it.
Him and Shinsuke both.
Clocking in whenever he wants, having a hot wife, divorcing his hot wife, going back to making a lot of money and having a... Dude, I saw something when he got fired that it was like...
I didn't know.
No, he's a classic luchador. He's just bouncing from company to company.
I didn't know he got fired.
Pulling pockets, bro.
I didn't even know he got fired.
He failed the wellness policy.
Was he doing coke?
Cocaine.
That's got to be race.
No.
So we do that. And then he joins the Don Callis family.
He did. What?
So Don Callis is on commentary because he's the Don Callis family.
He joined the don-tang clan.
So the don-tang clan is fighting Kenny Omega and Brodito, because that's been like the thing, is Brodito and Don Callis family been going at it. So after Don Callis gets in the ring and raises Andrade's hand, there's too many egos.
I know.
There's gonna be claps, but I'm like, cool. I've seen Don Callis for the night. No. Kyle Fletcher versus Orange Cassidy for the TNT Championship. And Don Callis comes out again.
I love, we come from a theater background. I would love to see what his face was, where it was like, okay, I got to walk through the curtain. I'm waiting 10 seconds. Okay, countdown. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm back from commercial. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, my favorite Australian child is in a match now.
Dude, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm really sad I wasted the Pim voice on Rosin Reed, because I really think the Pim voice fits Kyle Fletcher so much better.
Yeah.
But I can't reuse the bit, or can I?
No, I mean...
Orange Cassidy! You're so cool! They did a really funny thing in this match.
We've had the discussion before that you can't necessarily use the Pim voice on him because it sounds wrong. Because he's not as big. He's not as bulky.
Yeah, but it's also like he kind of does sound like Pim. Kyle Fletcher kind of sounds like Pim when he gets into the really annoying part of his Australian accent.
He's too posh for Pim.
But when he gets annoying...
Yeah.
But... There's a point in this match where Kyle Fletcher and Orange Cassidy are trying to do a backslide on each other. But every time Orange Cassidy goes for a backslide, he's trying to get his hands in his pockets. And Kyle Fletcher's like, no, dude, that's where you get all your power.
Yeah.
But Kyle Fletcher does retain, which I kind of found surprising. Like, now I'm waiting for Kyle Fletcher to lose that title. Yeah. Because he had this match with Adam Page. I'm really, really intrigued to see when and how he drops his title. You said that
earlier, where you're like, oh, I give it next year. Firmly in 2026, Kyle Fletcher will be a world champion. I'm gonna be a contrarian to you, because I know the world ends pay-per-view at the end of the year. I have a feeling
it's 2025.
I have a feeling that they're gonna surprise you a little bit early. Like, Christmas is coming early.
There's gonna be a dribble in my pants if he wins it in December, dude.
I think that's because World's End is where certain
that kind of shit happens.
That kind of shit happens. World's End was like it originally happened because MJF's contract was going to be up. That was the pay-per-view for the bidding war of 2024.
Okay. I remember that. I remember he was never going to leave, by the way. We knew that.
Hey, he bet on himself and got an ugly ass tattoo for it.
Yeah, I can't believe he got that tattoo. It is so ugly.
And it's gonna look even worse in about 5 years when he's on the other playing field. But
that would be crazy.
I think World's End is going to be the pay-per-view where we see the end of Don Callis' family and the crowning of Kyle Fletcher.
Oh my! I will be so happy. He's just so good. Every time I hear that, and then his his song doesn't match the intro.
Well, you love Hot Mulligan.
I do love Hot Mulligan, but dude, it's so good, man. I really hope you're right, but I want to see how. I don't think they're gonna have him double champ it though. I don't think he's gonna be double fisting while he drinks and drives.
Oh hell no. That's an Adam Page thing. He's only stuck in trios matches with the Ops of Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe.
I know, dude.
Defeating the Death Riders.
By the way, at this point, there's 3 matches on the card and 2 of them are trios matches.
I think a lot of people are upset that Hangman Adam Page is not past the Death Riders at this point. Everybody thought that was like that storyline is finished.
Nobody's past the Death Riders at this point.
Yeah.
We're talking about Hulk Moxley, dude.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I wasn't with you. Now I'm with. Shake my hand.
I said
that feels better. By the way, that does feel better.
I said the Hulk Hogan thing just mostly for the
Darby Allin match.
Well, the clip on TikTok more than anything.
Oh, so you're rage baiting.
But
you're learning.
There's a bit of truth in that statement where Jon Moxley cares about this business to the extent that it benefits him. And as long as there's a little bit of a story that he can get any benefits out of it, he will, reap what he sows. And I think right now, he does a lot of sowing. he doesn't do a lot of reaping, and I think that's
Oh, he's like a sewing crochet guy. But he doesn't make it for his friends, he makes it for himself.
Yeah.
No, it really seems like he's never going to be able to escape being a part of Roman Reigns' legacy, and he's kind of turning into I'll ball the fuck out if I care about it. If Mox cares about it, he's all in. He's down. No pun intended. He's all in. He's down to ride for it. If he's like everything he does with Darby Allin, he sells like death. He puts on good matches because he loves Darby Allin. If he don't like you, if he don't want to be a part of the program, and he's only doing it because Tony tells him, you're not getting the full Mox.
I mean, that's where you see one of the worst AEW matches I've ever seen in the AEW Revolution match where Mox had to face Cope. Mm-hmm. And it felt like two egos wanting. Both of them wanted to go over for their own reasons. And it's like neither answer was good.
Yeah. There was no... That rivalry existing was just wrong.
Yeah. And it's the same feeling you get where it's like, oh, Brock versus Roman again.
Yep.
And none of it's the right answer.
Yeah, there's no way for there to be a right answer unless a third party comes in, like Seth Rollins cashing in. Like, that's what saved that rivalry existing. Nobody thinks about how shitty that WrestleMania main event would have finished if Seth Rollins doesn't cash in, because Seth Rollins cashed in.
And I think that's where a lot of, like, wrestling fans in general do get in their own way, where they only envision a certain handful of people with the world championship. And I think looping back to the first discussion that we had in this podcast, where we have people in power that just can't see certain people hold championships for whatever reason.
Whether it's for reasons on television or off television, or I've never seen this guy as a championship talent. Like, think about Cody pre-AEW. He would have never gotten to where he's at now.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, what was holding him back? Vince didn't see him as a guy.
Yeah.
And I saw a crazy clip talking about, like, Cody was booked in AEW as a giant, and he's smaller than everybody.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? And it's like, I think it's things like that, like, where the different companies are so good and bad at different things.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the good thing, though. That's something that I discovered a long time ago, and I think people discover as they see that there's other options in this world for wrestling, is that it's not just one person in holding this monopoly of who decides to be world champion where. There's multiple people that you can go up to and say, hey, can I get this opportunity? I would love to show you what I can do. There's, sometimes you do need both sides to see how bad one side is or see how good one side is.
These wrestlers are able to sell themselves now to these companies and say, hey, look what I did here and look what I have the capability to do. If you give me this opportunity, I can become something. Like, I think about, truthfully, I know I said I don't want him in WWE, but imagine when Kyle Fletcher's contract comes up. Imagine when some of these, like when Jevon Evans' contracts is coming up. Like people talk about contract years in sports. It also exists in wrestling. Some of the best wrestling and best works you'll ever see are in contract years for these wrestlers, where they realize, if I don't figure it out and have a good program now, I'm going to have to go do it somewhere else.
And we see that with a lot of people. We saw
MJF's bidding war, just like we talked about.
MJF's bidding war. If we want to say something more, Ricochet.
Yep.
You see WWE putting him in a lot of losses and a lot of, like, giving him the shit end of the stick right at the end of his contract, and then giving him nothing as soon as they re-sign. And I think Ricochet saw.
Yeah, he's still hurt.
He hit the glass. Yeah, he's still hurt. He's yet to return.
He's never came out of that.
But he's hit the glass ceiling in WWE. Or he felt like
what Triple H perceived his glass ceiling to be.
And and that's where I'm like, what's crazy is you could have put a brand spanking new set of paint on Ricochet, literally you could have ran Prince Puma in WWE.
Yep.
You know, think about El Grande Americano, but with a guy that has worn a mask before.
You know what I think about too is like if people stop liking Sami Zayn, can you not just run El Generico? Like I know it's not the same.
He has those are two different people. First off, those are two different people.
Yeah, those are two different people. But
El Generico runs an orphanage. I don't know how he would come back to wrestling.
He's got people that works for him.
When Bossman's out of town, everybody's out of town.
When Sami Zayn wants to take a break, he can call up El Generico to hit his place up, to take his place. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, though.
It depends where the gimmick comes from.
But there's so many times where these wrestlers have sick, dope-ass past gimmicks that WWE doesn't want to run because you didn't build that in my company. You didn't build that for me, so I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think about so many wrestlers that get brought in.
I think about
from the indies, and they change the way they look, and they change the way they act.
I think about the Andrades. I like to think about a unique perspective. There is now Andrade's been in both companies twice. Is there space for him? In either company, you know, is this a situation where
he should be? I'm telling you, if Lucha Underground still existed.
If he was, should he do the free agent thing where he's bouncing around independent companies or like,
go to TPW. Do a tournament.
Yeah.
Do something else. I'm sorry. Sometimes TV isn't for you, man.
Sometimes TV isn't for you, but it's like, I think there's
they just keep falling.
I think there's like the independent scene and choosing to not be in a big company wasn't a thing until like
6 years ago.
Like a Matt Cardona or like a Zack Ryder, who really, laid out the blueprint for any of these guys who want to make a name for themselves on the indies. But also, how are you going to be the king of the indies, but also want to be in WWE every chance you get? I want to be at the I don't have a full-time contract with TNA, but I'm at the head of the TNA invasion because I'm a recognizable face.
Oh, you talking about
Matt Cardona?
He's not on the AEW team.
He's on TNA.
No, he's not. I thought he wasn't. I saw a tweet that said, "How are you not going to have him on the team?" Unless they just.
He's been there for the invasions. I don't know who the.
I don't think he's on. But I'm saying I don't think he's on the main team for the big match that it's about. Yes, he's been the face of it.
Yeah.
But also that's where I think you're wrong. Where it's like, yes, he's been a part of it, but now he's not a part of the main match for it, and that's where that lies in. Because when you look back at the invasion angle, are you gonna remember? It's just like,
But when you're invading TNA for your company, don't you want that to be like the Mike Santanas and the Joe Hendricks rather than the people that like.
Well, that's what. That's why the match doesn't have Matt Cardona in it.
Yeah.
Like
despite what Matt Cardona.
Oh, don't even get me started about Oba Femi not being on Team NXT. I get that he's not a face or anything. How is Oba Femi not Team NXT? He is. Wait a minute, he's not going to be on NXT much longer.
Matt Cardona's in the cuck chair.
100%. No. But then Andrade has to look at a guy like Matt Cardona and be like, do I want to be in the cuck chair? Do I want to be this indie guy that is still connected to a company? Or do I want to just go get paid?
Yeah.
WWE and AEW are willing to pay me back and forth. I might as well use it.
Yeah. And we're all looking for a payday. Candy bar or otherwise. That's why we need you to subscribe. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the show. Follow us. Follow the damn podcast at Pod-A-Mania Pod _EWL3 and at Bozo Dills. Follow us and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review over there.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe in the comment section.
Tell us your bet and tell us your favorite bets.
Who is John Cena's final opponent going to actually be? That's what you should tell us in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We love you.
I hope your commute went better, and I hope you got to wherever you need to safely.
I hope our mics and wires weren't too loud for you.
I hope they work. I hope us having to grab onto the mic at the end of the episode pissed you off.
I hope I pissed you off. Have a good one. Bye.